ACL tear. There are multiple ways to tear your ACL, but the most common is planting the foot, abducting the hip, and internal rotation and deceleration. So, this is a video.
Don't click it.
My video is already on there.
Yeah, let me see if I can fix something real quick.
This is just a weird one, that's why I put it on there. But he talks about it for a good 20 seconds. He can just do it cool, so I said we could just skip it.
Watch his right one.
Yeah.
And then it shows it in slow-mo.
Gender differences. Men are about 12 degrees, or the Q angle on men is about 12 degrees, and female are about 13 degrees, so females are more susceptible to ACL tear.
I'm recording.
And the intercondyle notch. Men have a wider notch, and women have a narrower one. Women are 9 times more likely to tear their ACL. Detection and diagnosis. There's the Lockman test like Andy demonstrated, and then an MRI will show. Preoperative rehabilitation. It's scientifically proven that rehab before surgery significantly improves an ACL patient returning to physical activity. Some exercises that patients do before surgery include quad sets, wall sits, heel raises, single leg raises, flexion and abduction exercises. Some goals that physical therapists want the patient to meet before surgery is more normal range of motion, keep the quads active, manage swelling, mentally prepare the patient for surgery, normal gait, and to immobilize the knee.
Preoperative considerations: do not take NSAIDs for a week to 10 days prior to surgery. Manage swelling with ice. A family member needs to take you to and from the hospital and care for you post-operation. Do not eat after midnight on the night before surgery, and do not wear contacts.
Okay, so there's 3 graft options here. There's patellar tendon, hamstring, and allograft. As you know, allograft is one. So for the operation, they do 3 folds, yes. So there's 2 like right here, and there's the arthroscope with the light. Yes, sorry. There's an arthroscope with the light, and then the arthroscopic instrument, and then there's a cannula which like shoots water through the knee so that the surgeon can see everything going on. Like it blows up the knee so you can see better. And for the patellar tendon graft, a lot of surgeons prefer this graft because it's most likely resembles an ACL, but it does have a high risk of patellar fracture. And as you know, everyone knows what a patellar tendon. They make an incision and take the central 1/3 of the patellar tendon and then run it through the leg. So we have a video.
Where's the sound at?
Oh.
Yeah, it's on the wall.
Part of the kneecap on one.
Very good.
The graft
You know, if it's a
another third of the patella tendon
like
is about 10
a video of
centimeters
somebody
long.
getting diffraction.
It
yeah.
incorporates a part of bone from the lower part of the kneecap on one end and a piece of bone from the upper tibia on the other. The defect in the patella tendon is closed. The tendon heals and eventually regains its strength. This graft can also be taken from a cadaver. This has some advantages, but also some risks. The rest of the operation is performed with the aid of the arthroscope while viewing the inside of the knee on a television monitor. The arthroscope is introduced into the knee and the joint is inspected. Any associated problems such as torn cartilage is corrected. To create a tunnel in the proper location in the tibia, a guide pin is passed through the upper tibia. It enters the joint at the spot where the ACL normally attaches to the tibia. The guide pin is over-drilled with a cannulated drill. A guide pin is now passed through the tibia tunnel and into the femur. It is drilled into the bone at the spot where the ACL normally attaches to the femur. The pin is over-drilled to the appropriate depth. A long guide pin is now passed upward through the tibial tunnel, across the joint, into the femoral tunnel, and out through the front of the thigh. This guide pin is used to pull the ACL graft through the tibial tunnel, across the joint, and into the femoral tunnel. The knee is fully flexed.
Okay, there we go. That's good enough. So, then they put screws in to fit your face. Okay. And the hamstring graft is where they use hamstring tendons, semitendinosus and discus, and they bundle them together to make a new stuff. And there's a smaller incision and the pain is stopped through less. But people with hamstring grafts are going to be protected for a longer period of time while they're out there. So we have another one.
The entire surgery is completed through just a few tiny incisions. One is made for the insertion of a tiny camera and to deliver fluid to establish a clear view of your joint. One or two additional incisions are made on either side of your kneecap to give the surgeon access to your joint. One very small incision is made to anchor the new grafted ACL in place. To start the procedure, the surgeon will insert a probe to inspect the damaged joint. A small motorized shaver will then be used to remove the damaged ACL and prepare the area for the new one. In every case, a surgeon will also inspect the entire joint to determine whether there is additional damage warranting other repairs. Then, the surgeon will use a device called a retro foot cutter to create a tunnel through the femur and into the knee joint. The surgeon will also create a tunnel through the tibia and into the knee joint from below. These two tunnels become the source of the anchor points for the ACL graft. In most cases, the surgeon will harvest a portion of your own hamstring tendon to use as the graft. Using your own tissue reduces the likelihood of your ACL rupturing again, and is a reason some surgeons decide not to use a tendon harvested from a cadaver. A surgeon will harvest more hamstrings than needed to avoid the challenge of not harvesting enough. To the patient's benefit, hamstring tendons consistently regenerate over time as well. Your surgeon will prepare the harvested hamstring and pull it through the upper hole and into the lower hole, just taut enough to mimic your original ACL. A small grappling hook will anchor the upper end of the graft, and a screw will stabilize the lower end. The screw is usually bioabsorbable, meaning your body will incorporate it into the bone over time. The graft from your hamstring tendon will act as a scaffold upon which a new ACL will grow. Over time, the hamstring graft undergoes changes and is strengthened, leaving a strong, viable ACL.